You add all this stuff together that we've been talking about, how sad he is, how he felt entitled to not only win this race, but win this race without having to work for it, and the wishful thinking. We're gonna combine all of that into him on the stage at one of his rallies, just pining for what might have been.
You know, he wanted to debate. If we didn't have a debate, he'd still be there. Can you imagine if we didn't have a debate? Why the hell did I debate him?
Okay, maybe that was a bad call on your part. You thought it was gonna be great, it didn't work out. Turns out that you're an idiot. I already knew it. Why did it take you this long to find that out, Donald Trump?
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
But more importantly, he's at one of those rallies. He's doing that rally. Like right now, he has 90 days, less than 90 days to go. He is now trailing Kamala Harris. And what is he doing? He's like, why couldn't it have been different? Yeah, but it's not different. It's not different. You're running against her. That's what it's going to be. And if you're one of those MAGA people behind him, they're like laughing. They like these lines. Do you guys get that there's less than 100 days to this election? And this is what he's talking about. And not just that, he hasn't figured out his message against Harris or Walz. And yet he's spending his time doing this.
I think Crooked Joe is more correct to say. You're like, all right, ready? Crooked first, right? What do you like better? Crooked Joe? Or Sleepy Joe? Okay. Crooked seems to always win. I mean, he's a crooked guy. All he had to do is think of it. If he didn't do the debate, he'd still be running. They'd be saying how great he is. He's a brilliant man, a wonderful guy.
You're not running against him. It's not Crooked Joe or Sleepy Joe. It's No Joe. Joe's over there. He's doing his last couple months as president or whatever. Harris is running against you, Grandpa. Wake up. And look, I don't care that he's wasting his time, but there are literally tens of millions of MAGA people around the country that ostensibly want him to win, and yet he's coming up with nicknames for a guy he's not running against, Francesca.
Yeah, no, again, this is the hits. This is like, you really can't, get that last like single out. Like he's just, his guitar's out of tune. The whole thing's crazy. No, and Crooked, remember, was a Hillary dig. That wasn't even a Joe Biden dig. But if he keeps talking about it, what it starts to sound like is he's a scared little bitch. Like that's all it is. He is running scared. And if he keeps whining that it's not Joe Biden and if he had only, then so you were actually scared of Kamala. And Joe Biden was never a threat to you, even though you say that he was locking you up or like trying to persecute your political enemies. That was his whole line, right? That he's part of a crime family. No. He's always been sleepy to you. And now we know actually you were right about that. And he's not been a threat, and he's certainly not been a radical socialist or a Marxist or whatever. So yeah, he has, I think, a week. Like if we're still doing this in a week, like first of all, the Nazis, the rats are already jumping ship, and more people are gonna just sort of like I don't know, RFK. There's brain worms for brain worms. We just swap them out.
Exactly. I mean, it just. Again, he for 10 years now has taken every like political norm and has shredded it or whatever. And he's still doing that. But like he's not even really doing like the ones that are supposed to protect us or American democracy. He's just shredding like the expectations one would have for their own candidate to at least pretend like they're trying to win this thing. By the way, I'm not like getting ahead of myself. I don't feel entitled to win. He could still win. There's definitely a very significant chance he could win. I'm just saying that right now, he has no influence over that.
Yeah.
It's just meta stuff. It's, the economy is not as good as it could be. Some bad news could come up. That stuff could make him win. He is doing nothing to make himself win. And again, I don't want him to, but if you're a conservative, it's really weird that it's not bothering you. Where Harris is doing every day, she's doing multiple rallies and drawing tens of thousands of people. Donald Trump is literally just doing the weird stream of consciousness he did like literally months ago, and he's just doing it again because he liked doing it. It's irrelevant now, but I'm just gonna do it anyway because it's fun.
I mean, yeah, they need a migrant caravan stat. Like that's, that's the only thing he kind of runs on and wins on, or sort of gets the angle on, even though Biden or Harris, I think, try sadly to militarize him on the border. But yeah, he needs another migrant caravan. He needs someone's story he can lift up or falsify, some migrant crime story, and that might put him back in the game here.
Yeah, and by the way, that's going to be easy to conjure up. Remember,
of course,
the migrant caravans really never had anything to do with anything that was going on. There's always some people traveling to the border. It's almost like, why isn't Fox News doing it? One would wonder. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.